Okay, so hey guys, in today's topic we're going to be talking about how to treat hyperpigmented lips. Now, I didn't think this was going to be the first topic that I'd be talking about, but 17 of you did message me saying, please Farah, can you address this question? And I'm more than happy to do so. So before I get stuck into talking about how to take care of hyperpigmented lips, perhaps the darkening of your lips, I'd just like to very quickly run through some of the causes of hyperpigmentation in your lips. Now, one of the causes could be sort of health related, and that could be diet, contact dermatitis, something that perhaps you're using that is irritating your lips and leading to hyperpigmentation. It could also be related to sort of your own genetic makeup. For example, if you're darker in skin tone, you may notice that you generally have darker lips than if you're perhaps lighter in skin tone. Now, it could also be related to lifestyle choices. Some of you may notice that since you started smoking, your lips have become darker. So smoking is very pro-aging. Not only does it affect sort of wrinkles around the mouth area, it can lead to hyperpigmentation of the lips as well. It could be related to perhaps ingredients inside a product that you're using that may be rancid or irritating, and that's especially the case for certain oils. And last of all, and this is not an inclusive list, there are many more reasons, but something that impacts me is injury to the lips, cold sores. So whenever I get a cold sore, I notice that I get a dark mark on my lip, which normally takes about 4 weeks to disappear. And if you get an injury on your lips, if you find your lips are very dry and chapped very often, you may notice that this is also leading to sort of hyperpigmentation of the lip area as well. How does the skin on our lips differ from the skin on the rest of our face, for example? Now, the skin on our lips is a lot thinner, it's more sensitive, it has fewer oil glands, and it also has fewer pigment and melanocytes in particular. Melanocytes are pretty much just pigment producing cells, so you'll notice that your lips are generally a different color or slightly lighter to the rest of your skin. Now, before I talk about treatments of hyperpigmented lips, I just want to say there's absolutely nothing wrong with hyperpigmented lips. I used to believe there was something wrong, especially when I'd look at sort of magazines and I'd purchase like the Lancome Juicy Tubes, and they would have like two or three different versions of pinks, and I'd try one, and one would look a different shade on the top lip and a different shade on the bottom lip, and I used to believe there was something wrong. Now, over the years, I'm a lot more comfortable with my lips, and actually my focus has shifted towards me having very dry lips with 2 courses of Accutane, and it's really dried my lips out. My lips bleed and get chapped often, so I focus more now on sort of making sure that my lips are a lot more healthier, rather than just solely focusing on keeping them more even toned. So first of all, you want to be very gentle with your lips. You don't want to be very rough or aggressive in your scrubbing, or to use anything that's irritating, because any type of irritation or aggressive approach to the lips can actually lead to inflammation, which in turn can actually worsen the problem and sort of give you more hyperpigmentation concerns. So you want to take a very sort of gentle approach with your lips. First up is using perhaps a washcloth, where you can just, this is Jane Scrivner's, I love her washcloths, they almost look like little Muppets. You just want to take a washcloth and generally just rub it across over your lips. And the best time to do that is when you come out of a shower, when naturally your lips are a lot softer, and then it's sort of just easy just to sort of rub away any sort of dead skin cells and rough skin. You can also use a facial scrub, or perhaps a scrub that you've made to gently just go over your lips. I happen to have Gallinée mask and scrub in my bathroom, and I can just sort of gently just use that over my lips. Now, I'm not going to talk about DIY products here, because of course I've grown up in a culture where we absolutely love making our own stuff, but I'm going to sort of talk about stuff that perhaps you already have in your skincare regime that you can easily sort of transfer onto your lips as well. So perhaps stuff that you've already got that's been well formulated, so you don't need to worry about getting a recipe right, and that you can just start using on your lips straight away. So for treatment and for brighteners, I tend to look for a brightener that doesn't irritate the skin, and something perhaps you're already going to have in your skin regime already. And that happens to be, in this case, for today's case, it's going to be vitamin C. Now, I'm not talking L-ascorbic acid, which some of you might be using, and that is because L-ascorbic acid is generally formulated at a very low pH, usually between about 2.5 to 3.5. It's a watery serum, actually can get all over inside your mouth as well, so it's kind of a gross experience, but it tends to be a little bit more irritating. So what I'm going to talk about today is going to be vitamin C derivatives. First up, I have a sodium ascorbyl phosphate, and I particularly love Mad Hippie for this one. It's also formulated inside hyaluronic acid, so it makes this serum particularly hydrating and brightening at the same time. It's a wonderfully light serum, and it absorbs very quickly. It makes for a beautiful hydrating treatment. The second vitamin C derivative to look out for is tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. I'm going to call it THD because I never can get that right. And this is an oil-soluble vitamin C, which sort of penetrates into the epidermis and dermis of the skin. And there are quite a few products formulated with this vitamin C. For example, Medic A C-Tetra. This is a THD serum in jojoba oil, which is beautifully brightening, and it is extremely moisturizing at the same time. So you can perhaps skip the lip balm altogether. Now, if you are somebody who has extremely dry lips and you reach out for things like lanolin balms very often, then you might be interested in Truth Treatment's THD serum. And this is a THD serum. It's formulated in cholesterol and fatty acid esters from lanolin. So it's extremely moisturized. And if you have very dry skin or very mature skin, then you can, this is probably a serum that you might want to use all over your face as well for brightening and vitamin C action. Now, The Ordinary also have their own version of vitamin C, which is oil-soluble vitamin C derivatives. If you're using one of the hydrating serums, you want to look for an occlusive barrier that you want to apply over your hydrating serum, sort of a lip balm or a lip oil, Tamanu oil, which is extremely moisturizing and repairing. Or I'm absolutely loving the Henne lip balms, which have antioxidants, avocado oils, and a lot of other butters, which are very moisturizing. You can use that over your serums just to make sure that your lip stays in good condition, and you don't have dry or patched or parched lips. And then last of all, you want to make sure that you are applying an SPF, and that's the most important part. Make sure that you are applying an SPF, and I think I actually like applying an SPF because if I've got a tasty lip balm, it basically means that I won't be licking my lips. So apply an SPF, or you can look for a lip balm with an SPF inside that. So I hope that helps. I'm going to get totally sidetracked here and use one of my favorite lip balms in the color Azalea. So moisturizing, I absolutely love it. But if you do have any questions, let me know. Just pop a question below, I'm happy to answer it, or you can send me a DM. Bye bye.